Hi, my name is Mr. Paul and I'm an elementary math teacher development specialist. Today we're going to continue our continuation of our unit from last week on financial literacy. And today's objective is going to be I can develop a system to keep and use financial records and balance a simple budget. This is our objective for today. I'll put it right here. And then before we begin with our lesson, I just want to make sure you're ready. So if you haven't already, make sure you have something to write with and something to write on. Something to write with, such as a pen, pencil, marker, or something to write on, such as your notebook, math journal, piece of notebook paper, anything that you can write with and write on. Make sure you have those things ready so that way you can use it during our lesson today. Okay, so we went over our objective. Let's go ahead and go over some vocabulary words. First word is budget. A plan used to decide the amount of money that can be spent and saved for a given period of time. Budget. So a budget is a plan used to decide the amount of money that can be spent and saved for a given period of time. Budget. And then we're going to talk about a lot today is a balanced budget. When expenses are equal to income, also known as zero budget, extra money not spent on itemized expenses can be allotted to savings in order to balance a budget. Balanced budget. I'm going to read that one more time. When expenses are equal to income, also known as zero budget, extra money not spent on itemized expenses can be allotted to savings in order to balance a budget. Balanced budget. So we're going to be talking about how you can budget your money, whether you have money now or just so that you can have that information as you grow up in the future. So just keep these words in mind as we go over them. So let's go ahead and get into our engaged activity. Let's engage. Below is William's financial records for April. So this is basically William's financial records for the month of April. So we have all the dates here, the description, the income. And if you don't remember what income was, income is money that you earned through work, through the service of goods and works. Expenses is the money that he gets and not him spending it, and then how much funds he has available. So let's discuss this. So we have the balance at the end of the month. He had $4 at the end of March. So that means going into April, he had $4. So his allowance for the month was $50. So he got an income of $50. And then he spent $21 to tickets to Splash Town. So what we did was we had the $54 here because we added how much he had from March that was left over to April, which is $4. And then how much he got for his allowance, which is $50, plus the $4 gives us $54. And then when he goes out and spends the money on Splash World, we have to subtract the $21 from $54 because that's money that he used from his income. So that's how we got the $33. So as you look through the expenses, we're going to subtract the expenses from the available funds. So $33, subtract the $5 because he put $5 in savings. He spent about $6 on lunch. So now we're at $22. And he spent about $4.50 on snacks. And now he has an available funds at the end of the month of April, or close to the month of April, of $17.50. $17.50. So as you can see here, just think about this for a minute and how the income that he's getting, how he has to plan to, if he wants to have money at the end of the month and not overspend, how is he going to how does this help him figure out what he's going to get and how he's going to spend his money? Just think about it for a second. And as you do that, what I'm going to do is we're going to pose a question. We're going to pose a question that goes with this math story. So I'll give you a couple seconds to think about this and how this chart can help William decide how he's going to spend his money based on his income. So the question I just put up here is, what kind of information is listed in the financial record? So the information that we have here is basically the date of his spending and the description of what he's spending, and then the income. And then the income again is the money that he earned, which was allowance. He did chores or something that earned him that $50, and he went off and he uses money to spend it, which are the expenses. And then we gave available funds. So all this information is listed in this financial record, which is very helpful for William in his spendings. And so this is just an picture of how we can budget our money. And what we're going to get into, this is just a glimpse of what we're going to get into. So hopefully you can gather some information from this. Keep this in mind and how it can help you. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our lesson. So I'm going to clear this out, and I'm going to put up the math story that we have and math chart that we have for you today. Okay, so the question I want to pose is, what is a balanced budget? What is a balanced budget? So a budget spending plan is a spending plan that helps people make responsible decisions about spending and saving money. A balanced budget is when expenses are equal to the income. So kind of like that chart I showed you earlier, how we saw the income and the expenses and how they were kind of equal to each other. So that's sort of a balanced budget. So just looking at this for a couple seconds, what do you notice here? Well, this is the title here, William's Monthly Budget. And then what do you notice? Just take a look. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put up my workspace so that way I have room to work. All right, so let's just go over a couple things that we have on this chart. We have the income. So this section is all the income, and expenses, all the expenses. Again, income is the money that you get by doing the works and the goods. So money that you're receiving because of what you're doing. So for example, this is part of my job. So I get an income for this. I get money for this. And then if you do chores, you get money for those things. People who work at the grocery stores, at restaurants, their income is for them doing those jobs, and they get money for it. So that's their income. So William's income comes from allowance, which he gets $40, babysitting, $18.50. He does some yard work for $6, and then he washes cars for $15. And we don't know the total income yet. So to find that total income, what we have to do is add these amount of dollars all together, so that way we can find the total amount of income he has. But we'll get to that in a couple seconds, or in a couple minutes. And then we have our expenses. Our expenses, he puts $20 in his savings, $26.38 is spent on snacks. At the movies, he spent $25.75, and then he donated $16.50 of his money. So we're going to be using this chart throughout the next couple questions. I have about 4 questions that I wanted to ask. So one thing I do want to, before I get to this question, one thing I do want to point out is that William has 4 sources of income. 4 sources of income: allowance, babysitting, yard work, and washing cars. So that's 4 different areas that he's earning money for his income. And then he also has 4 different expenses. So we kind of see that what the money that he's earning is a balance with the money that he's spending. That's what we're going to kind of look at. And we don't know the total, so we're going to also try to find that. And in order to find that, our first question is, what is William's total income for the month? So in order to find William's total income, we said that we are going to have to add all the money that he's earning. So we have $40 plus $18.50. I'm gonna add this first, and then I add the next amounts afterwards. So 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 5 is 5, 0 plus 8 is 8, 4 plus 1 is 5. So we have $58.50. I'm gonna move that up here. And then I'm gonna add the $6 to this. Okay, 0 plus 0 is that. 50 cents plus 0 is 50. $8 plus $6 gives us $14. Put my 4 there and my 10 up here. 10 plus 50 is $64. So right now he's at $64.50. Now we're going to add $15. I'm going to go ahead and add it right here. Again, 0 plus 0 is 0. 50 plus 0 is 50. Then we have 4 plus $5 is $9. 60 plus 10 is $79. So we know that William has right now, his total income is $79.50. So what I can do now is I can add that to my chart. We said $79.50. So I'm going to put $79.50. Now, our second question is, what is William's total expenses for the month? So to find the expenses, it's the same thing as what we did for the income. We're just doing it for a different category. So we're gonna have to add all these amount up so that way we can find out his total expenses. So we have $20 plus $26.38. 0 plus 8 is 8. 0 plus 30 is 30. 0 plus 6 is 6. 20 plus 20 is 40. So I have $46.38. Now I add my next one, $25.75. 5 plus 8 is 13. 10 cents plus 30 cents gives us 40 cents. 40 cents plus 70 cents gives us $1.10. The dollar goes in the next place value. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 5 is $12. 10 plus 40 is 50. 50 plus 20 is $72. Wow, we're really close. So our total income was $79.50. And right now he's at $72.13 of expenses. So he donated $16.50. Let's find out if his expenses are going to be more than his income or if it's going to be less. I'm going to add 16.50. 3 plus 0 is 3. 10 plus 50 is 60 cents. $2 plus $6 is $8. 70 plus 10 is 80. So he had $88.63 in expenses. Wow. So if we look at this, his expenses are more than his income. So the amount of money that he's getting through his income isn't enough for his expenses. So he's actually spending more than what he's actually getting. So that's going to lead me to my next question. Did William create a balanced budget? Well, if we think about this budget that he did, it's not really balanced, because what happened was that, like I just said a couple seconds ago, is that the amount of income he has is less than the amount of expenses he has. So it's not balanced, and that's a problem because he's going out there spending money on that he doesn't have. So that's the whole point of a balanced budget, is that way we can kind of budget ahead of time to see if he will have enough money. So a good way to use this is, if we can know how much money snacks, movies, and donations are, you can go ahead and plug it in here, and it'll help you determine if William didn't do this yet. It can help us determine if he needs to go out and get more income. And that's the point of having a spreadsheet like this, or a budget like this, so that way it can help you determine if you need to earn more or spend less. So having a spreadsheet like this or chart with the monthly budget is very helpful for it helped William figure out how much he's expending versus how much he's getting. And this definitely can help you as you want to budget for things, whether you're trying to save money for buying a toy or a video game. You want to be able to have some kind of chart like this so that way you can figure out your income that you get and your expenses. So it's going to lead me to my next question. I'm just going to cover this question and put. So we said that he did not have a balanced budget. So if not, how much money does William need to pay for all his expenses? So let's go ahead and find out how much more money he needs to pay for his expenses that he had. And to do that, we're going to subtract $88.62 from $79.50. So we got to figure out how much more money he has to, does William need to pay for his expenses. So let's go ahead and do $88.63 minus $79.50. $88.63 minus $79.50. 3 minus 0 is 3. 60 minus 50 is 10. 80 minus 90. We can't do that, so we have to regroup. We're going to regroup by taking a 10 from here, and that changes to 70. And this becomes 18 ones. 18 minus 9 is 9. And 70 minus 70 is 0. So he has $9.13 of expenses for extra of his expenses. So basically, he has to find a way to earn $9.13 in order to make up for his expenses. So William has to somehow increase that. So and it shouldn't be a problem because he can go out and do more chores or maybe babysit it more or do more yard work. He can easily do that. But only if William was able to kind of map this out before he did all his expenses, he could have better prepared himself for having that money to the income for his expenses. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to clear my board, put a problem up here for you to work on. You're going to be able to copy it down, and as you copy it down, you can work on that problem if you're watching this through a YouTube video like that. But if you're watching this on live TV, what I'll do is put the problem up here. You can kind of look over it, and as you look over it, I'm going to work through it, but I also want you to work through it at home also. So I'm going to clear this board, and then we're going to get into that problem. Okay, so I've cleared my board, and now we have a different practice problem up here. So what I want you to do is, if you're watching this through HISD Live, kind of follow along with me, and let's see as I read this out to you. If you can copy the chart, that would be great. If not, just try to follow along with me and try to solve this problem with me. If you're watching through YouTube or a different platform where you're just watching a recording of this video, what I want you to do is go ahead and pause the video, copy this chart down, and then copy these questions down. So I'm going to step to the side so you can copy this down. In order for you to do that, you're going to pause the video, copy the chart, the questions down, and then what you're going to do is that I want you to solve this problem by answering these questions that we have here. What is Kelly's total income for the month? What is Kelly's total expenses for the month? Did Kelly create a balanced budget? So I want you to answer these questions and then unpause the video, come back and see the work that I've solved as I solve it, and see if it matches any of your work, so to see if you got it right or not. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this. So if you're watching through live TV, try to get this copied down the best you can. I'm gonna read it and try to read it nice and slow so that way you have the time to copy this down. So let's practice Kelly's monthly budget. So I'll probably give you some 5 to 8 seconds a head start to copy this chart down. And all I really did was create a big square rectangle, drew a line across, a line down the middle, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. So I drew 1 across, 2 lines across, 3 lines across, and then 4 lines across, and then I have my box already there. And then I label one side income and the other side expenses. I did my left side income and my right side expenses. And then for the income, we have allowance, babysitting, yard work, washing cars. So for the first one, we have the allowance at $70, babysitting at $35.75. Babysitting at $35.75. Yard work at $13.50. So yard work is $13.50. Washing cars is $28. And we don't know the total income. That's one of our questions. Then we have the savings for expenses. Under expenses, savings is $15. Snacks is $36.38. Snacks is $36.38. Movies is $25.75. Movies is $25.75. Video games is $56.50. Video games is $56.50. So hopefully you're able, I kind of gave you enough time. So hopefully I gave you enough time to kind of copy this chart down and all the information inside it. If not, that's okay. You can kind of copy it down as I go over the problem and I'll go over these questions. So our first question is, what is Kelly's total income for the month? So her total income for the month, it's basically, remember what we said earlier was we have to, can you take a guess? Add these numbers up. So we're gonna go ahead and add these numbers. I'm gonna set that up. $70 plus $35.75. I'll pause here for a couple seconds, copy that down, and go ahead and get a head start solving this problem. Make sure your numbers are all lined up so that way you can add this correctly. So we have 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 70 is 70. 0 plus 5 ones is 5. 70 plus 30 is 100. So we have $105.75. Then we're just going to move that up here. So allowance and babysitting is $105.75, and we're going to add the yard work now, which is $13.50. 5 plus 0 is 5. 70 cents plus 50 cents is $1.20. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 0 plus 10 is 10. Bring our 1 over. Oh, I'm sorry. 0 plus that 1 is going to give us 110 here. And then we bring the 1 down. So we have $119.25. $119.25. So that's how much he has in his income right now from allowance, babysitting, and yard work. Now we're going to add him, I'm going to add her washing the cars, which is $119.25 plus $28. So we have the 5 plus the 0 is 5. Move this way so you can see better. 20 cents plus 0 is 20 cents. 9 plus 8 is 17. Bring the 1 here. 10 plus 10 is 20. 20 plus 20 is 40. And then we bring our 100 down. So right now, her total income is $147.25. Her total is $147.25 for her total income. Now we're gonna find what's Kelly's total expenses for the month. We're gonna add all this up to figure out what her expenses are. So we have $15 plus $36.38. I'll pause there so you have some time to do it. Okay, 0 plus 8 is 8. 0 plus 30 is 30. Then 5 plus 6 is $11. Bring my 10 over here. 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 30 is 50. So $51.38. I'm going to bring it up here, and now we're going to add the movies. The movies is $25.75. So right now for savings and snacks, she spent expenses of $51.38. Now we're adding the movies. 8 plus 5 is 13. Bring the 10 cents over there. 10 plus 30 is 40. Plus 70 is $1.10. 10 plus 10 is 20. 20 plus 50 is 70. $50 plus $20 is $70. So now her expenses with the savings, the snacks, and movies is $77.13. Now we're going to take this and add the $56. $56.50. So let's go ahead and add this. And once we add this, we have our final amount, our total amount of expenses. 3 plus 0 is 3. 10 plus 50 is 60. $7 plus $6 is $13. 10 plus 70 is 80 plus 50. 80 plus 50 is $133.63. So right now she's at $133.63. So right now she has a good amount of income to cover her expenses and still have some left over. So did she create a balanced budget? Yes. And now let's figure out how much income she has left over. And remember, to do that, we have to subtract. So we're going to subtract $147.25, subtract $133.63. 5 minus 3 is 2. 20 minus 60, we can't do that, so we have to regroup. This becomes a 6, that becomes 12. 12 minus 6 is 6. 6 minus 3 is 3. 40 minus 30 is 10. And then 100 minus 100 is 0. So she has left over in her income $13.62. That's how much she has left over. So this was just a practice song for you to do, for you to look at, and just for something to practice. I'm going to go ahead and just recap what we talked about today. So we talked about a balanced budget. A balanced budget is something for us just to have, so that way we can see our income and our expenses, and just something for us to look at, make sure our income and our expenses are equal. And if they're not equal, where our expenses are actually more than our income, then it's kind of a problem. That means we have to try to earn some more money. So it's better to have your income at a higher amount than your expenses, so that way you have some leftover money. So that's something you want to think about as you create a budget or a balanced budget. So I hope that you learned something today, something that you can apply to your real life, and something that may stick with you throughout your life and your future life. So thank you for tuning in to HISD TV. I hope that this lesson was beneficial for you and that you're able to learn something for it. Have a good day.